It's showtime, baby. It's here Thursday evening, 7 p.m., and it's ready. Time to go. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Mortgage from a Treehouse. I am Keith Pitch, and I just wanted to welcome everybody to another amazing episode. It's just one of my favorite times of night right now. It's a little bit low light. It looks like the sun may be shining, but super exciting to have you guys here tonight. We are going to dive into another real passionate topic about real estate and mortgages and how it can help you build your wealth. We talked last week a little bit about the power of real estate. Hey, Jenny, how are you? Good to see you. One of our great agents that I partner up with out there on the peninsula. So we're going to talk about building your real estate portfolio with a cool house hack. And last week we talked about the power of real estate and the power of appreciation, the law of large numbers. A 5% appreciation factor on a $500,000 house is epic, right? It compounds really quick and builds wealth. And so I wanted to bring this out to you guys here tonight and let you guys know one key strategy that I use with my clients, like every month, to help them buy their next house, but keep their departing residence. Keep their departing residence as a real estate investor to be rented out, and then they're off and running. So without further ado, let's jump into it tonight. Moving up. Everybody wants to move up and get their big COVID house because they need more space, right? But let's be honest with it. So let's set the table. Here's what it looks like. We got the starter home. We've been in the starter home, or we've got maybe the second home, and we want to go to the forever home. And we want to buy a new house, and we think we have to do a bunch of things with that old house because of old traditional conventional knowledge that isn't going to, in my opinion, have the same impact long term as if you were to rent out the departing residence and buy a new one. So this is what we're going to jump into. Remember from last week, we talked about the equity position in housing, right? A lot of people have a ton of equity. A lot of people, there is a lion's share of people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pillars. 6 pillars. So probably just under 60% of all households have at least 20% equity in them, which means they're in great positions to buy and hold. Guess what you'd have to put down for a non-owner occupied investment property to get financing on it? 20%. So if your departing residence already has 20% equity, you're already there. Use that as your rental property. So it's a super awesome, powerful thing to do, because here's where the rubber meets the road, the roadblocks, right? Everybody's like, oh, hey, I do want to go buy that new house because this one's too small, but I'm going to have 2 mortgage payments. I want to go buy a new house, but I need the equity from my departing residence to put into my new house. I want to become a landlord, but I'm scared to become a landlord. And so I'm just going to sell that old house, and I'm just going to move on with my life into my new house, and hunky-dory, everybody's happy, right? So everybody's happy except your long-term wealth. And looking at it from that perspective, I want to help bring some light to it. So let's jump into these one at a time, right? This is a very, very real thing. I will have 2 mortgages. That is a fact. It's also a roadblock. And what I coach my clients through is I remind them that, yes, you will have 2 mortgages, but guess what you also will have? You will also have rental income to take care of that other mortgage, right? We'll show an example of how this works as far as qualifying here a little later. But yes, you have 2 mortgages, but you also are having more income brought to the table. Think of this. I like to think about investing in real estate, non-owner occupieds, as a second job that I don't have to go to, right? So yes, you have the liability, but you also have the income being generated to offset that liability. And in that position, it's powerful. I need the equity out of my house for my new purchase, right? And anybody remember, I want to say it was, anybody remember episode number 2? Episode number 2 was so cool. I bought a t-shirt for it. I made it up. I was like, awesome. I love this t-shirt. I want to share this t-shirt with the world. I'll probably have to get it out. Maybe I'll send out the first 10 people to thumbs up this or something. I'll send out a I love mortgage insurance t-shirt, right? Mortgage insurance is your friend, my friends. A lot of folks want the equity out because, again, looking at old conventional wisdom, they say, oh, 20% down, 20% down to get out of MI, to get out of MI. In some certain cases, yeah, that could be a very needed thing. If you have a lower credit score and that MI factor is going to be budget busting, definitely, I get it. We need to look at some other ways to tap into the equity of the departing residents, maybe. But mortgage insurance is your friend. If you are going to put down that big chunk of 20%, let's say on a $900,000 house, and you're going to invest $180,000 into that house, it's a dead asset, right? So how about we put smaller down payments down, 5% on jumbo mortgages. There's jumbo lenders that will do 5%. You know, you can do 10%. The jumbo lenders have some really awesome mortgage insurance products too. So that's not necessarily the roadblock, because we have to do the whole plan, right? We have to look at the whole plan. What does the mortgage payment look like? What does the upside as far as the cumulative effect of 2 pieces of property both appreciating? What does that look like? What does having one property not only appreciate, but having somebody else making that mortgage payment? That's why people get out of the rental rat race in the beginning. They say, wow, looking around, I don't own anything. I'm just sending this check off every month and it's not going anywhere, right? So now you get somebody to pay not only your mortgage, but you're getting the appreciation and they're paying down that principal for you. That's a win-win situation. And that is, again, the power of real estate that we talked about last week, which is still one of the best investment vehicles I have seen. So what else do we have? I'm scared to be a landlord. You know, that is for sure real. Because we've all been there, whether we've been renters or whether we've been landlords, you know, getting those calls about toilets in the middle of the night, or something happened at the investment property or this and that. Guess what? The coolest part about this whole thing is you're not in it alone, right? Okay, if you don't want to be a landlord, go hire a property manager. That's okay. You don't want to be a landlord. That's why, kind of paradigm shifting here, guys. When we go out there to invest our money, what do we do? Who do we call, right? Who do we call? We call our financial advisors, right? Think about real estate as a financial investment, right? If we're going to do financial investing, we call our financial planner, we call our stockbroker, what have you. If we're going to invest in real estate, we're going to go call our property manager. Yeah, absolutely. So think about it from that perspective. Are we paying our financial planners? Do we pay our financial planners? Absolutely. Because their expertise is paramount. It's worth it. Same with property managers. Everybody's like, well, my property manager wants to charge me 10% of the monthly rent, right? Okay, 10% of the monthly rent, so you don't have to worry about it, right? So you don't have to worry about lease turnovers and shampooing carpets. You don't have to worry about those 12 a.m. phone calls. That's why you hire a property manager. Super, super awesome. I've had multiple investors come up to me and say, you know, I tried to walk that road by myself. I tried to do it, to walk that road as a real estate investor, landlord, do it all, jack of all trades, master of none. And it wasn't until I turned over my investment properties to a property manager that I actually started making money. Guess what? I've heard real estate agents say that too, right? This is not your full-time job unless you're going to dedicate yourself to building a real estate portfolio that 110% replaces your income, and that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Great. My path, just to share with you guys, my path is to invest in real estate so I don't have to worry about investing in real estate anymore. I don't have to worry about making the next mortgage for my next client. I want the freedom to be able to go out and do what I want to do with my life, right? So that's where I come from. And hiring that property manager, awesome. Takes that worry off my plate, and I can look at the next acquisition. I can look at the next move, which is what I want to be doing. So if that's interesting to you, do it. But don't be afraid to be a landlord, because there's plenty of professionals, amazing professionals out there to help you with that in the world of property management. So now that we've gone through those roadblocks and kind of broken them down a little bit and said, hey, well, maybe these roadblocks aren't as gut busting as possible, right? So let's go and look at the numbers. This is where the power is, my friends, the numbers, right? So let's assume our old house is now worth $500,000. Let's assume our new house is now going to be a $900,000 house, right? We're gonna do this purchase, and again, when we talk about the law of large numbers, we now have $1.4 million. I did my math right? Yeah, we got $1.4 million in real estate in the market. That's awesome. And what did we determine last week was the going rate for the Puget Sound area as far as year over year appreciation? 5%. 5%. You guys see what this looks like? I'm going to make it like jumbo size. This is 5% right here. So we start at 1.4, and in the next 10 years, that 1.4, if we hit the button every single year at 5% between the two houses, appreciating, guess what? At the end of 10 years, you have $2.8 million worth of real estate in two houses. That's it. Just two houses. Let that sink in there. $2.2 million worth of real estate, right? That's a pretty crazy return on investment. Okay, let's take it one step further. Okay, let's not be so sunshine and rainbows, right? What if the market takes a little bit of a turn? So we go flat for a couple of years, and then we dip down by 5%, and then we get back 3, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and back up here. And after 10 years, you've got now a $400,000 position in real estate. I'm missing something in here that you guys don't see either. I'm missing the mortgage side of the coin. Over that 10 years, you're paying down that mortgage, so that delta between equity and that delta between liability and the top number, so that equity delta is getting bigger and bigger every year. And guess what? Somebody else is paying that mortgage on that $500,000 house. So super powerful to look at the numbers and where you could be in 5 years, 10 years, what it takes to get there. Now, here's where the rubber really meets the road. Minimum down on the new house, use rental income on the departing. Everybody that I know of that I've coached through this, here's the scenario. I'll set the table. Client gets referred to me. Hey, I'm looking to sell my house to go buy my next house, and this is what I want to do. I got to sell it first. How can we tap into the equity? We've talked about that. I think that was show 5, how to tap into the equity of your departing residence and making the transition. But if you want to hold on to that departing residence, here's what you do. A lot of people say, I can't qualify with the 2 mortgages. I just have to sell it because I really wish I could be a landlord, but I can't qualify with the 2 mortgages. So what that looks like is got a $2,100 mortgage on my departing residence. I'm going to now go get a new mortgage on the new house, and that's going to be $4,000. And between the two, I can't juggle $6,100 worth of mortgage payments. Well, I don't want you to. I want you to worry about the new house that you're going into. So what does that look like? We use the old home right here, and we just say, hey, that old home right now has got a $2,100 mortgage. The proposed rent on that new house is going to lease out for $2,500. and you're going to be in the clear $400. That's awesome. Ta-da! You're onward and upward. But that's great for you because you now have a cash flowing piece of property. Super awesome. However, that's not quite how we qualify it in the wide world of mortgages. So here's how it looks to us on the mortgage side. We will still look at your click that. We'll still look at that $2,100 of principal, interest, taxes, and insurance on your departing residence, but we can only use 75% of that $2,500 rent, right? So when we do that math really quick, it comes out to a $1,875 offset, which is still awesome. So we're taking a $2,100 liability and we're turning it down into a $225 liability hit in your debt to income ratio when it comes to the new house. How powerful is that? So the folks that have self-eliminated saying, oh, I can't do it because I can't carry 2 mortgages and still meet the debt to income requirement of the new house, we can use that departing residence. We can use rental income on it. Couple stipulations. Let's talk about it. You got to get it rented and you got to get that deposit in your bank account, and that lease has to be 12 months. Once it's rented, got the deposit, and that lease is 12 months, you're good to go. We can use that proposed rent to offset your departing residence's payment. So again, we're turning a $2,100 payment, shrinking it down to $225. Super, super powerful. And now you have 2 homes, you're creating wealth, and you're onward and upward in the wide world of real estate. So keep and rent, buy new, and build wealth with real estate. It's that simple. It comes down to advice, right? If your passion that this is what's calling you to be a real estate investor, and you're in the market for a new house before you go off and sell that departing residence, talk to me. I'd love to have that conversation with you to discuss your options in retaining that departing residence. I've now had 3 clients, 3, that have come back to me who purchased last year, and we went through the motions, had great equity positions in their departing residence. They had good assets to put down. They didn't need the income. They didn't need the equity out of the house. They had strong debt to income ratios with an offset mortgage, and based off the rental income of their departing. And they've all 3 come back to me here in since the beginning of this year. One of their New Year's resolutions is to become a real estate investor. And they said, man, we should have listened to you. So I don't want to have that. I don't want those emails anymore. I want you guys come have a conversation. And if the time is right now to get into that new property and retain the old one, I'd love to help you. Building wealth, getting those doors, building that passive income, building that appreciating asset, it's hard to beat that investment strategy. So that is all we have tonight for you guys, folks. I wanted to hit this topic quick, effectively, and sharp. And also there's a second bit of information behind that. For all of you just joining us, feel free to rewind this bad boy back on Facebook or YouTube and take a look at it, share it, like it, comment. If you guys have any questions, I do want to open this up. Do you guys have any questions on this? Because this is like a super powerful strategy. Keep, rental, buy, new. Awesome. So that's actually my wife and I's strategy. We live in a house for 2 years, then we turn around, buy the next one, off we go. So that's the house hack. That is it. And again, the episode 8, share, like, comment, let me know what questions you guys have. Episode 8 will be in 2 weeks. I'm taking next week off. We're going on vacation. So we'll see you then, and look forward to hearing from you guys. Share, like, comment. I think I said that 2 or 3 times now, but share, like, and comment, because sharing is caring, liking is cool, and commenting, I just need to know that you guys are getting your questions answered. So look forward to seeing you guys in 2 weeks. Enjoy, and we'll catch you later.